Sasuke, Naruto, and his friends finally take down Obito with a brand new badass power in my review of Naruto chapter 651. So you guys can probably tell Christian is not going to be here today. He's actually feeling a little under the weather. The seasons are changing and all of us are sort of trying to adapt to it, but he should be ready again next week. But let's just go ahead and talk about this week's chapter of Naruto, which, when compared to last week's chapter, was leaps and bounds better. Elephant out of the room. Kurama plus Susanoo equals win. This was an awesome transformation. Over the course of the last couple weeks, we finally get to see that Naruto and Sasuke have been teaming up with each other, and Christian and I have been sort of theorizing over time. They're probably going to do that one thing that Madara did. And by the way, guys, I'm going to work with you a little bit. I'm going to try to pronounce some of these names the way you guys want them to be heard, so I'm going to try this for you. Madara. Is that the way you say it? Madara. I'm going to try it for the rest of this chapter if I ever bring that character up. Really, what's happening is Naruto and Sasuke are finally teaming up with each other, and they're getting to use their awesome abilities finally together as one. You gotta love the way it looks, too. It just looks so monstrous. And the actual form of this creature does resemble the Ninetales a little bit more than when Madara was using it. What's really great about all of this is that Naruto and Sasuke are not alone, and they're going to be joined by a lot of their old fellow teammates. Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, Tenten, Rock Lee, friggin' Sai even. Shino, Kiba, Hinata. What's really cool is there happens to be conveniently 9 of them, one for each tail, and in that giant panel you get to see they all get like a cool chakra cloak, they all get to hang out on one of the tails, and they all get a giant Rasengan. So this is a really huge event. In a way, Rock Lee is using ninjutsu for the very first time. So Naruto and Sasuke aren't going to be the only ones to get some new weapons. Obito also has some really cool stuff. He has this giant sword and shield, and apparently the sword that he's using used to belong to the Sage of the Six Paths. I can think of 2 things it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of the Lance of Longinus from Evangelion, and sort of the Fierce Deity sword from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. What follows is truly a heart-pounding and intense battle between some of the most powerful ninjas in the entire series. I absolutely love the fact that they're trading these incredibly powerful blows with each other. I also love the fact that the Kurama Susanoo is able to use his sword to pierce through Obito's shield, and that's just proof to show how powerful they truly have become. But while all of this is going on, there's this sort of strange scene. You get to see that Kakashi is sort of in sync with Obito all the time. You can sort of hear what he's saying and know what he's doing. And then all of a sudden, Obito has these sort of pseudo flashbacks, sort of like a what if could have happened if he decided to not become such an asshole and decide to take over the world. And essentially you just get to see he would have become Hokage, he would have still been friends with everybody. This is essentially a big what if, and it all ends as the Kurama Susanoo is just cutting right through Obito at the end. It is really friggin' awesome. So, awesome chapter this week. This was the type of action that I've been wanting to see for a long time. Really big, explosive action from these characters. A big bonus, obviously, is that all of those other characters are going to be helping out Naruto and Sasuke. Just, obviously, the highlight of this week's chapter has to be that one big panel where you get to see that monstrous form for the first time with its big sword in hand and all of the characters with their chakra cloak and the Rasengans. Just all of that looked so awesome, and most of the artwork this week was actually pretty well done, so I really applaud it for that. It's really only a matter of time before Madara has to jump in and start fucking some shit up. But when compared to some of the setup chapters we've had over the course of the last week, this one was definitely a breath of fresh air. We've been wanting to see this Kurama Susanoo thing for a long time, and it definitely doesn't disappoint. It looks really, really awesome. Obito's new weapons are also really awesome. That sword is a little crazy looking and a little strange and kind of out there, and it's kind of strange how they're able to connect that sword to the Sage of the Six Paths. But whatever, I can accept it at this point. It looks really cool. As a fan of action anime and manga, and as a Naruto fan, this was a pretty fun chapter that had a lot of really cool character artwork and a lot of fan service. So if you were a fan of any of the original Rookie 9 type characters or the people from Konoha, you're probably going to dig some of the stuff in this chapter. But really, Naruto and Sasuke teaming up, that's what really matters this week. I have a few minor nitpicks with this chapter. The only one is I wish that the fight would have gone on a little bit longer and maybe started a little bit earlier in the chapter. I would have liked to have seen Obito and Naruto and Sasuke trade a few more blows. But otherwise, this was a really fun chapter that had way more ups than downs to it. And if you're a Naruto fan, action anime, action manga fan, definitely check this one out. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So how did you guys feel about this week's chapter of Naruto? Do you like that brand new Kurama Susanoo form? Do you have any predictions for the coming chapters? You can let me know with your comments below. Remember guys, before you leave, make sure and give this video a thumbs up. It's absolutely one of the best ways to support our videos. That, and you can see what else we have right up top. So, I will see you next time, guys. Super Kamiguru 9000, out.